Black Ops 6. Another year almost gone, another batch of multiplayer maps that we fell in love with, or in this case, just kinda dealt with. Today, we're ranking every Black Ops 6 map from worst to best, from the ones that feel like they were designed during a lunch break, to the rare gems that actually make us want to queue up again. Brace for some hot takes, and let's dive into this glorious mess of spawn traps, AI designs, great throwbacks, and the occasional masterpiece. Let's do it. The worst map in Black Ops 6 is, and always has been, Lowtown. I'm sorry, but a map with that much water doesn't deserve any better than this. Water, ladder clipping deaths, hard to find players, all make for a poor experience. Even if water combat was decent, I'd probably still put it at 23rd, where it belongs. Vorkuta was the return to the Soviet prison for Black Ops 1. Fans were excited for its return, but the fact of the matter is, it plays like shit. If you start on the opposite side of the massive gear, it's GG. Good luck getting out of that spawn trap. My god. Extraction was originally released in Season 1, and I was pumped to be playing a new map, and I was incredibly disappointed because Extraction is, at its core, a bad Call of Duty map. Everything funnels into the hangar because if you peek anywhere on that landing strip, snap, you're dead. Fugitive made its way into the game in Season 4, which was around the time I stopped playing. I had a little bit of time on it, and I can say it's not great. It has some awkward verticality, weird flow, and weird lanes. Like I said though, I don't have a lot of time with it, so if you like this map, I apologize, but it's coming in at number 20. Scud is one of the maps that was constantly played in the beginning of the life cycle. While I don't hate it, the spawn trap on either side can be quite demoralizing. I think there's just a bit too much open space on the map, and people still sit top satellite after all this time. Not a bad map, but not good by any means. Barrage came out in Season 3, and at the time, it was one of the best DLC maps that we had gotten, and that's saying something, because this is not a great map by any means. I think the flow on this map was good for the most part. There's 3 lanes, decent size, but it's largely dominated by assault rifles, and the spawn traps on both sides are awful. A decently fun map, but not great for all types of gameplay. Bounty was released in Season 2, and it actually got included in ranked play as a trial run, and it was a grade A bang out. An SMG paradise, basically all close quarters engagements. This made for a fun and chaotic experience, but it didn't play well at all. If you were playing hardpoint on this map, you had zero room to breathe. It made for some high kill games, but just a little too small to be considered any higher on this list. Derelict was a map I originally had quite high because it seemed to be one of the only maps I was playing at the beginning of the life cycle. With some reflection and probably hundreds of games on it, Derelict isn't great. It reminds me a lot of USS Texas from World War II, a very narrow map, which doesn't leave a lot of spawn room when there's 12 people on the map. Spawn traps were very bad, and unless you have a good team with you, you weren't getting out of it. Derelict goes from hero to 0 for me. Haven came into the game with Season 3, but I didn't get to play it that much. It has a very cool setting and is very aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't play the best in some of the more popular modes. There were a lot of routes and connecting alleys, and it's playable for SMGs and ARs. But like I said, I just didn't play it enough, so I can't justify putting it any higher. Dealership was added to the competitive map pool when it was brought into the game in Season 2, so I played a lot of it. Hardpoint was a bang out, great for SMGs and ARs, 3 lanes that all connect back to the middle of the map and room to maneuver within those lanes. The one thing that was bad on this map, and it's in the name so it was a given, is all of the cars. There were just too many cars on the map that took away from the fun of this map, so it takes 14th place on this list. Red Card takes the award for biggest redemption through the life cycle for me. I know. People still think it's terrible, but you know what? Red Card actually plays like an old school Call of Duty map. Rotate early in hardpoint, get rewarded. Make a smart read and search, get rewarded. There's so many plays that can be made on the map that reward smart decision making, which makes it a half decent map in my mind. Nuketown has been around since Black Ops 1, and this is the first year I've felt the fatigue. It's still a staple in my eyes, and I mostly enjoy it, but I can't play it for hours on hours like I used to. I don't know if it's the skill-based matchmaking or the map in general, but it just doesn't quite feel like it used to, and it might be time to retire it. Protocol was a map that I had such high hopes for at release, and I was extremely disappointed with it in public matches. Games were slow, spawns were sticky, it just didn't play well. But in ranked play, it was a little better. Definitely a map that plays better when everyone is playing for the win, especially in hardpoint and control. It can't quite crack the top 10 here though. Rounding out the top 10, we have Hideout. Hideout came into the rotation in Season 1. Players were excited for new maps, and Hideout turned out to be a very fun map. It's small, chaotic, strategic, and while the spawn traps on either side were pretty bad, it's easy to get out of with a coordinated attack. Nothing special about Hideout, just a simple, fun map to play Call of Duty on. Payback is set in the campaign safe house, The Rook, and it's super fun to play on. Lots of close quarters engagements in the mansion and on the outskirts. SMGs absolutely dominate here. I don't usually put maps that high that cater to one playstyle, but Payback had great visuals, a great setting, good flow, and spawns weren't super sticky. Overall, a very fun map. I was super excited for Hacienda to be in this game, one of the best maps from a stacked Black Ops 4 lineup. But in pubs, it played like absolute dog shit. Ranked and competitive is where this map shines. A great hardpoint map, one of the better control maps, and an awesome search and destroy map. I'm glad they brought Hasi back, and it takes number 8. If you look at Rewind, it's one of the few maps that actually play like a traditional Call of Duty map. It's got 3 lanes with interconnecting lanes everywhere, lots of long lines of sight, and lots of close quarters engagements. 5 hardpoint hills, so rotations heavily matter, spawn blocking, map knowledge, it all comes into play. It might not be a great map for pubs, but like some of the maps on this list, it gets a competitive play buff and takes number 7 on the list. I just mentioned the rank play buff, and Vault gets the ranked play buff here. This map plays best when people are playing it the correct way, trying to hold rotations, blocking spawns. Vault plays pretty true to a traditional Call of Duty map. There's long lines of sight for ARs to dominate, and indoor gunplay for subs. Search and Destroy was a bang out, but played terribly. Vault grew the most on me from release to now, and I'm happy to play it over and over. Rounding out my top 5 is Subsonic. This map is just pure, chaotic fun. Normally not a recipe for a good map, but it's weirdly balanced. Spawns aren't sticky, so there's a lot of flipping and catching the enemy off guard, but the flip is easily readable, so spawn knowledge is heavily rewarded. A great mix of AR and SMG play with great opportunity for snipers as well. This might be a hot take, but I love Subsonic, and it takes number 5. Grind was a map I was very excited to see return. I loved it in Black Ops 2, and I love it in Black Ops 6. It's the stereotypical Call of Duty 3-lane map, and that's usually what I love. It's a perfect map for AR and SMG play with a balance of indoor close quarters engagements and long-range tactical gunfights for position and holding a lane. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to at least try it in ranked, but still a great map. Fringe is one of my favorite maps of all time from Black Ops 3, so there's a little bit of bias here. I was very nervous on how it would play with no jetpacks, but it actually plays very well. Search and Destroy is so fun on Fringe, it's big enough where you can actually hit a route and make a play. Mainly AR and sniper dominant, but there are enough tight quarter areas that make SMGs and shotguns viable as well. Fringe takes the bronze medal here at number 3. Firing range has always been a top tier map, even without nostalgia involved. It's one of those maps that you can play over and over and not get sick of. It plays very well in Black Ops 6, even with the updated movement. Yes, the spawn traps are still bad, but they're easily broken and you can actually flip the spawn. It's hard, but you can do it. If firing range wasn't every COD, I wouldn't be mad. It takes the silver medal at number 2. The best map in Black Ops 6 is, and always has been, Skyline. A very enjoyable map for all modes in public matches and competitive. Search and Destroy is a bang out, hardpoint rewards good rotations, 3 lanes with different routes available within those lanes, and multiple playstyles are supported with SMGs able to hit sneaky routes and ARs to hold down catwalk and top plat. Skyline is a top tier Call of Duty map for sure, and it takes number 1 on the list. That's my ranking for the Black Ops 6 maps. What are we thinking? Am I completely out to lunch with these, or am I on point? Let me know your rankings down in the comments, and as always, if you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe for more Call of Duty content. And hey, if you're feeling frisky, maybe join the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll chat then.